The Woman in the Wall is a 6-episode thriller telling the story of a woman who finds a mysterious body, not alive, in her house one morning.
Lorna Brady suffers from extreme bouts of sleepwalking, which leads her to believe maybe she did commit the murder.
I heard about some of the things that you do when you sleepwalk. Kind of violent things, no?
What business is that of yours?
I'm the one asking the questions, Lorna.
I want to master that voice. I'm the one asking the questions. Well, the show takes inspiration from the history of Ireland's infamous and abusive Magdalene laundries.
And joining us to talk about their new show are the stars, Ruth Wilson, who plays Lorna Brady, and Daryl McCormick, who plays Detective Coleman. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time. So first, tell us about your characters and what their role is in this larger story.
I play a character called Lorna Brady, who's a rather sort of eccentric, odd lady in the village who keeps herself to herself. And what you come to realize is that when she was 16, she went through one of these mother and baby homes where she got pregnant out of wedlock. And then her child was taken away from her and put into adoption, or she doesn't really know what happened to her child, could have died as well. But as a result, she suffers from sort of PTSD, from trauma from that. And that manifests in her sleepwalking. So at night, she kind of subconsciously goes and does violent things and almost acts of revenge. So in the first 15 minutes, like you said, she finds a body in her house and she thinks she might be responsible for this. And at the same time, another crime happens in Dublin, and that's where Daryl's character comes into it, Coleman, and he's investigating that crime, and those two bodies, those two murders, you realise are connected, and they directly connect these two characters and their past.
You know, as somebody who loves to write, I thought, would this have been better told as a full-length feature film? But I think it's done right episodically. Is that part of what attracted you to this? Because you're able to tell this story one bite at a time, as it were?
Great little Irish.
Yeah.
I played Christy Brown at one point, and you know what I'm talking about in my left foot.
Yeah, you keep that up. Yeah, I mean, I think, the episodic really does justice to both characters and the scale of the history of the events as well, because I think it's important to give that its space and time. And it does really propel the show. It really starts to gain momentum as you go in through the series. So, yeah, I think it gives that space for the characters and the nuances and the style of the show to kind of breathe and live, and hopefully makes for a gripping show.
So one last question here. So the story isn't super well known outside of Ireland. So what do you hope international audiences are going to learn?
Well, exactly that. I mean, this story isn't really known outside of Ireland, really. And so it's those survivors of those mother and baby homes are out there still trying to get their voice heard. So for us, the most important thing about this show is, one, we want people to be entertained by it. And it is. It's a genre mashup. So they will be entertained, but also to take away kind of this tragic history. And, the only way you can stop these things happening again is to learn about them in the first place. So that's our hope with the show and with the series.
Well, I love it, and I love that Ireland is getting some light and some love in addition to that dance sequence by the Saltburn actor, and you know what I'm talking about here. But all love for all things Irish and all things creative. My dad always tells me, you've got the Fitzwater temper. I have to push it down. But thank you so much for joining us live from New York, both of you, and we're taking cues from the pillow you're sitting on. That
I
says,
love that
stay
pillow.
awake, stay awake.
This is obviously from the show. Stay awake. She has to stay awake.
And tell the truth. You've done interview after interview. We're the most fun, right? In San Francisco, we're the most fun.
Yeah, of course, always.
Yeah.
No one's done an Irish accent yet, so there you go.
Or tried. It's all in the teeth. It's all in the teeth, right? Have a good morning. Thank you so much.